Welcome to 108 Contemporary. My name is Sarah Moore and I'm an intern here at 108. Today I'll be walking you through a slip casting craft kit inspired by the works of Mathew McConnell and Linda Lopez in their exhibition Live from the Moon, which is on display here from August 4th through September 24th, 2023. Let's get into it. In your kit you'll find instructions, 2 paper cups, your clay wrapped in some plastic wrap, and in this kit you will need some small objects, I'm using beads, some water, and then optionally some decoupage glue, I'm using Mod Podge, along with some paint and something to apply your paint with. First we'll make the clay slip. Taking your ball of clay, unwrap it from the plastic wrap, set your wrap to the side, and tear your clay into small flat pieces by pinching parts off of it like this. Place them into one of the cups as you go. Next, you'll add in the water. It's best to add it in just a little bit at a time so that you don't add too much and have too liquidy of slip. After you add in your water, stir it with a fork or another utensil to mix. I'm just using the back of a paintbrush here. When mixing, you might be tempted to keep in adding water because the clay is thick. Try to just keep mixing it a little bit longer. You can press the clay against the side of the cup to help mix it up, or even poke it to break up the clay some more. If you add too much water, then it will just take a very long time to dry. As you can see, the slip has a thick batter-like consistency. It's not liquidy, but pourable. Now you're going to find your small objects. I'll be using beads of varying sizes. Other things you can use are things like safety pins, other shaped beads, coins. Really just experiment and see what all you can find. Try lots of different things. Place your small objects in the bottom of the clean cup. I have a pretty thick layer of beads here, but if your object is flatter, that also works. Now place the plastic wrap that the clay came wrapped in into your cup. If there's any wrinkles, make sure to unfold them. Make sure that the plastic wrap is touching the objects or else you're not going to get a good impression. You can also fold the ends of the plastic wrap around the cup to help keep it in place. Now it's time to pour the clay. Give it a little stir again and pour your slip into the cup. You can use your mixing utensil to help it along. I added a little bit of slip at a time. In this spot, you can see that I needed a little bit more, so I just took my plastic wrap and poked it down again to help it lay flat. Then added a little bit of more slip and tapped it on the counter to help it flatten out. This tapping motion works really well with the beads because it doesn't matter if they move. But if you have an object that you want to stay put, you can just make your slip a little bit more liquidy, which will take longer to dry, or just use your utensil to smooth down the clay and help distribute it. After you've let your clay dry for around a day, you're ready to remove it. You can see from the edges that it's just shrunk a little bit after drying, but that'll help you with removing it. So just take the plastic wrap and pull it out of the cup and then peel the wrap off of your clay. There's going to be some of these little crumbly pieces, but you can just brush these right off. And if you'd like to sand the bottom of your piece, now is the time. If you don't have sandpaper though, you can just take it, go outside, and gently rub the bottom of it on some concrete and get all those hard edges off. If you're wanting to paint your cast, first we're going to seal it with some decoupage glue. I'm using Mod Podge, but you can also do a mix of glue and water. Then just take a brush, I'm using a foam one, and dip it in there and get into all the little cracks and bumps. This will help seal the clay so that it doesn't absorb your paint. After that, just let it dry. It should only take about 10 minutes. Now it's time to paint. Here I have an assortment of tools to try with some sponge brushes and then regular paint brushes. For the colors, I was inspired by one of Linda Lopez's pieces. I really loved her bright colors. So here I was having a little bit of trouble with my painting, so I ended up taking some white paint and putting it on first so that the color would show up a little bit better. I used the sponge brush for this to help get in the paint into all of the bumps, and then just let this dry for a couple minutes. Now I'm ready to add color. I mixed some acrylic paint together to match the two metallic paints that I had already picked out, and now it's ready. So I decided to do pink on the inside and the turquoise on the outside to give it that same ombre effect that Linda has in a lot of her pieces. Now I've let that dry and added on some glittery paint. At this point you can also add on a final layer of decoupage glue, but the one that I had was a matte finish and I didn't want to lose the shine of my paint, so I skipped this step. Okay, now you're done! Enjoy your slip casting sculpture! We would love to see how yours turned out, so go ahead and tag us at 108 Contemporary on Instagram to show us. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.